Much love and appreciation, family. So, for all of the brand new men's and women's shirts that you see and the limited edition sneakers that you see here, please visit the comment and or the description below the video. Thank you.
Cheryl and Alan, that family says police entered without a warrant, taking advantage of a minor whose parents weren't home. The 16-year-old boy who wants to remain anonymous is knocked off his feet by the Carpentersville officer who charges through the doorway, the teen ending up on a couch.
I did get scared because I never expected something like this to happen to me.
The encounter 2 months ago, the result of a search for a missing girl who's friends with the boy. As the officer's partner searches upstairs, there's more grabbing and pushing. Twice the cop grabs the boy's neck, and then he throws him on the couch again. The missing girl is not at the home, but the officers handcuff and arrest the boy, whose mother was away at work.
It was an illegal search of this home. It was an illegal seizure of that minor.
100%.
And ultimately it was a false arrest.
Video shows the officer had opened the unlocked door himself. The family now suing, alleging police had no warrant and no probable cause. The officer heard claiming the door had been opened.
Oh, your door's open.
Oh yeah, sure. I don't feel comfortable opening this door without my parents here, sir.
The family says police had already searched the home a day earlier when the boy's mother was again at work.
He was
She says she
cordial the whole
talked to an
time.
officer on the phone.
I told him, wait for me. You're not supposed to be in my house. There are minors. I'm not there.
The family says the missing girl was a runaway who did come to the house, only to be put in an Uber by the teen. He says he showed police this record of the ride, but that didn't stop officers from returning the next day.
He said that she was still in here, that people were saying that she was still in here.
The family says that missing girl ended up back at her home that afternoon. In a statement, the village says the officers' actions are under review by a third party and that, quote, all matters involving police interactions with the public are taken seriously.
Okay. Hey, how you doing? This is Sejahito here to bring you news. So we all saw this video, right? I want the cop sympathizers, the Blue Lives Matter, the thin blue line. I want all of you on this video. Please bring all the smoke. I want it here right now. Please do. Get your friends, get your family, get your friends. Show them this video. And I want you somehow, some way to tell me by any statute in the law that you can find that legally everything that these cops did was 100% by the book. So let me just read a little bit for the people in the back that didn't just so happen to catch the video. Let me just give you a couple of things here. The 60-year-old boy who wished to remain anonymous was knocked off his feet by officers who charged through the doorway. One officer searches upstairs while the second officer grabs and pushes the teen. Twice the officer grabs the boy by his neck and then throws him on the couch. Of course, the missing girl was not home, but officers handcuffed and arrested the boy anyway. Video shows the officers had opened and unlocked the door himself. The family is now suing, alleging police had no warrant and no probable cause. The officer can be heard on video lying, claiming the door was open. The officer, hello, your door is open. The teen, yeah, sir, I don't feel comfortable opening this door without my parents being here, sir. The family said police had already searched the home a day earlier. The boy's mother, who was at work, said she talked to the officers on the phone. The family said the missing girl was a runaway who did come to the house only to be put in an Uber by the teen. He said he also showed police the records of the ride, but that didn't stop them from returning the next day. And this was a statement released from police. Quote, the village of Carpentersville and its police department have just learned of a lawsuit, and as such, we are not prepared to make a statement as to the specific allegations at this point. However, the village takes all matters involving police interactions with the public seriously. What is known is that the police were responding to a report of a missing female minor during the alleged incident. A third-party investigator was initiated to address the appropriateness or inappropriateness of the involved officers' actions. At this point, the investigation is ongoing. So you mean to tell me that they've already checked the house previously? They already talked to the mother previously. This is not the first time that more than likely this young girl has run away either. Then on top of that, the young man also showed the police the Uber receipt where he spent, I think it was about $12.65 or maybe 95 cents to send her from his house back home. And even still, with all of that proof and knowledge that they have, they still broke into somebody's house, did an illegal search and seizure, arrested the kid illegally, and kidnapped him. So you mean to tell me that they're not facing any type of charges? These are two grown men who walked into a house and assaulted and kidnapped a child. That's what I'm looking at here. I'm not even looking at the fact that they're police. If we strip all of that away, these are two grown adults who broke into somebody else's home, assaulted a child, a minor, arrested, and kidnapped him. And more than likely, the door to the house was still unlocked after they left, which means that these quote unquote officers could have very possibly just allowed another criminal, because they're the first ones that showed up to the house, a second criminal to come by and actually do some damage and steal some items in that house. Wow. That's amazing, isn't it? Amazing how police, who are supposed to uphold the law, who are supposed to follow the law and make sure that others do the same. Isn't it amazing how they don't have to abide by those same laws? Isn't it amazing how they're not held by those exact same laws? I'm just saying, dude, do I have to keep repeating myself here? This is yet again the same thing that happened. I brought you guys a video about a black man and how the police entered his house because they claimed that the door was already open when it wasn't, because they opened the door themselves, just like you see in this video with this young man. And then they proceeded to assault the homeowner. But then I still have clowns showing up saying like, oh, well, the police did their job. How are they to know that he's not an actual criminal? People want to always add in these what ifs to deflect from the actual situation that's happening, right? In both situations, the police came to someone's home, right? They allowed themselves in, correct? And what did both officers do? They decided to search said home without authorization, without any type of warrant. And nothing ever happens to these cops. What's going to end up happening here is that police are going to end up running into somebody else's house yet again. And one of those cops is going to have like that type of attitude, and he's not going to like how things are going. He's going to pull out his gun. He's going to end up killing somebody. And only then will it actually register in people that things like this should not be allowed to happen. That things like this are the reasons why people need to always just keep their doors locked. Things like this is the exact reason why people need to arm up. Things like this is the exact reason why people need to always have video evidence of every single thing that transpires with police, because at the end of the day, the court system, the lawyers, and the police all sleep in the same bed. And what that means is you have conflicting interests from all three parties, which it shouldn't be. The courts should be completely separate from the police. The police should be completely separate from the lawyers, and so on. But due to conflict of interest, people want to grease the other person's hands, and they want to start to get some type of, extra money flowing, even if it is $200 to $300 to $500 or $1,000 underneath the table. People will take that extra money just to throw somebody else in prison or get a prosecution or to get some type of a ruling. People have to understand the ways that this system works. It doesn't matter realistically. Now, if I want to go on my logical mindset, right, and I want to go above and beyond a lot of things, right, realistically, this can happen to any and everybody at any given time, right? The police assault a great deal of a multitudes of people, no matter where you go around this world, because we lived in a very corrupt world and society that are run by very corrupt and demonist type individuals. But realistically, real world, what I'm living in, what other Black people are living in, what minorities are living in, is this: that no matter what you do, no matter where you're from, no matter how much money you have, no matter what education you may hold, no matter what degrees you have, at the end of the day, you are property, you are cattle, you are sheep, and you will be treated as such. Like I said before, this is just one big giant farmland, and everybody is up for the slaughter. You just have to figure out what number you have on that ticket. So, I get tired of saying this sometimes because, people don't get it. Realistically, I can use the example of Black people all day long, but people really don't get it. I can even bring up the examples of white people this happening to, but people still don't get it. I can even bring up the examples of people from Latin America and people who are also Hispanic here that go through it, and people still don't get it, because a lot of people out here are stuck. A lot of people are fearful to fight and to call out things that are legitimately wrong, both legally and morally. That's the society that we live in. A lot of people want to bolster and claim that, they're heroes. They want to bolster and claim, that they're the next Superman and this, that, and the third. But realistically, you're not. Because if you were, you would be making a great deal of more change than what you are making it seem as though you are. I don't know. It's a little bit tiring sometimes, repeating yourself over and over again. But the reason I do it is because I know that somewhere out there, at least one person or a few will understand exactly what it is that I'm saying. And hopefully they will act upon the words of arming themselves legally, buying up, whatever defense that they need, so that if anything, if an end of the world type scenario happens, that you can protect yourself and your family, or, maybe possibly your neighbors from people who are trying to do or go by things immorally and illegally. So that's it. Let me know what you guys think about the video, and of course, everything that I read to you from the article, the little snippet there, and what you feel about everything that you heard from me. Whether you disagree or agree, it realistically doesn't matter. It's whatever makes for good conversation, for people to have open dialogue. So as always, thank you guys for hitting that subscribe button. Thank you guys for the love and support that you give me on an everyday basis. Thank you guys for everything that you do. Like I said before, slowly and surely we're moving up there, and I wouldn't be able to do it if it was not for you. So as always, peace, love, and stay tuned for the next video.